Okay, so let's assume that you want to study computer graphics or something. Well, let's assume that you want to draw something on your screen. Well, it means that you need to code something by with some external libraries or open sources. So there are so many open source projects in this, on the web. So you can simply Google, we want C++ open source, and there are so many project open source games libraries, IDO, game engine. So maybe type just graphics library, maybe. So there are much information here, and computer graphics and open source multi-platform. So there are many things. So after googling many things, you will find that OpenGL is useful. OpenGL. And you want to use OpenGL more in an easier way, then you will find there is something like glue. And if you Google more, maybe you can Google some examples. Glue example. Let's see something. So, the first thing you need to do something is looking for an example in Google, right? So, I found this example looks good. Looks easy. The code is very short, and it seems like I can start with it in an easy way. But after that, later, when I really tried to start using this code, I found this one. So I was looking for a glue example. I was looking for a glue example, the different library. But most of the other examples used GLFW. I found this is a new library. I'm not sure that this is a better library than glue, but I found this one. This always happens because everything changes very dynamically these days. So it's going to happen to you if you want to find some open source project for your own purposes. Okay, so so if you found something and you want to maybe you want to make a comparison between some libraries, then there is an interesting way of using Google in this for these purposes. You may use Google Trend. Okay. So let's compare glue library and GLFW. Okay. So it seems like people are looking for glue. This is glue, GLFW, glue, for like this, and this shows GLFW, this one, right? So, personally, I know that glue had longer history than GLFW, right? And it seems like this one is growing and this one is newer, so I decided to use this one. And if you don't feel well after trying, you can go back to glue or Nave, OpenGL or anything else. After just you can just try in a simple way. So let's try with GLFW, this library, this one. Actually, this GLFW is based on glue, and maybe you want to add one more comparison here, OpenGL. Right? This one is descending, right? And maybe you want to, you'd like to add DirectX. And this one's here, right? Well, so these are very interesting. Anyway, for this course, I'll show you how to install this one as an example of open source API. Okay, let's start with a Visual Studio Hello World example. It takes time. Okay. So file, new, project, and hello GLFW maybe. Okay. Next, empty project, console. Add new item. Add this one. Okay, so I always start with typing iostream hello world, just to make sure everything works fine. Okay. Okay, so it works fine. So, and next thing you are going to try is Googling one of the most simple example of GLFW, right? To find the starting point, the simple one. So GLFW. There are so many tutorials and examples on the web, and I found something by typing these keywords. So where was it? Hello window, maybe this one. So this example generates just one window, right? Well, it looks good, but I think I saw a simpler version around here. Maybe you, if you are interested in, some computer graphics seriously, then you can try these examples. But I'm looking for the really simple one. So, this one looks good, but it uses some shaders, and it's too graphics, so let's ignore this one. We are looking for simpler one. And not this one again. I don't remember the real keyword I used. Hello world documentation. Yeah, so this one looks very clean, this one. So let's go with this one. So there are some complicated functions in this example, but well, you don't need to understand everything here. Well, I'll show you a better way, but we need to start with GLFW library. Okay, so this is a good start point because the example is very short. Okay, so let's just drag the code and copy and paste, and we can see many warnings here. So cannot open source file GLFW 3.h or something. Okay. Okay. So this means that the Visual Studio or your compiler doesn't know where this file is. Okay. So let's try. Well, you can right click on this file name and click open document, this one. Okay, there appears an error message like this one. Okay, this is because your compiler and Visual Studio doesn't know where this file is, and actually this file does not exist in your hard disk drive. Well, it's still on the on web. So let's Google again. So this is the well, let's leave a comment for later use. It's from, okay. Okay, so let's Google again. Download GLFW maybe. So this is GLFW official homepage, and you can download the whole source package from here, or from, well, you can access the code through GitHub. So, well, we were looking for this file, right? We were looking for this file to compile this example code, and after searching some files in this GitHub repository, we will find that this one's here. You see it? GLFW 3.h, right? This one's here. So now we know that, well, now we confirm that, well, we can compile this code by introducing GLFW library to your Visual Studio. Okay. So there is one way. The hacker version is download the source package itself and install it and compile the source code with your Visual Studio. It's one way. And if you want to access the low level detail of this library, you can do it. But I prefer to using the pre-compiled binaries here. So this is a more efficient way for, well, user for most of programmers. Okay, so and okay, so we are using Windows, right? And there are two options. So 32-bit or 64-bit, right? 32-bit or 64-bit. Let's look at this part here. So if you click this button, we will find x64 and x86, right? So x64 is this one, 64-bit Windows applications, and x86 is this one, 32-bit. So the numbers are confusing, but x86 is for 32-bit Windows applications, and x64 is 60-bit Windows application. So, well, I think your PCs in this classroom are those PCs use 64-bit Windows, I think. So they can you can develop both of these, 32-bit or 64-bit. So it doesn't matter for you, but well, I think it'll better to use 64-bit Windows binaries for future uses. Okay, well, but you can switch from 32-bit to 64-bit anytime you want. So let's download this one. This one's better. Okay, so we have the library, and well, let's look inside this zip file here. So we found include GLFW, GLFW3, and well, .h file. This file is here. So we want this one. Okay. So this is a zipped file, and we need to unzip this one. So let's go to the project directory, open containing folder, and this is your project directory. So let's unzip this one to this one here, maybe. Okay, so we have this GLFW library, the open source project here, right? Here. But it still shows a warning here. We are looking, well, this is because the Visual Studio still doesn't know where this file is. Okay, so let's take care of it. So we are using Win64 version, Win64 binary. So let's change this one to x64. Okay, and right click here, the project, right click, and properties. Check properties, and you will find C options here, and additional, look this part, additional include directories here. And click this one, edit, and new one, new directory, and this one, and add the directory here and include this one. So be careful here. So do not include this directory, this one. If you include this directory, well, your compiler will try to find GLFW, GLFW3.h file under GLFW directory. It cannot find GLFW directory under this directory. So include this one instead of GLFW. Okay, be careful with this one. So select folder. Just still something wrong. Okay. Okay, so be careful with this one. Do not include GLFW directory here. Include directory only. And press OK. And let's apply it to Visual Studio, and let's try. Okay, so all of the warnings are gone. We are very happy, right? Okay, so let's try build solution, build. Okay, so all of the compiling errors are gone. Compiler errors are gone, but we have linking errors. The LNK 2016. This is a code of linking error. So let's Google this one. So there are some Korean tutorials as well, but MSDN looks good. So the linker could not find the definition for external symbol or something, right? So the compiler, the linker, well, after compiling, the linker will try to link your external library and your code. So we have these errors. It means that your Visual Studio need more information about these, right? So so let's Google again. So Control V, Control C, Control V, enter. So it seems like many people Googled the same thing again and again, and let's try this one. And in the question, we see the same thing we found the same thing, same error, the same linking error we have. So hopefully there is an answer. So one answer talks about you need to compile with GLFW32.lib library. So you may try this one, but please remember that we are working with GLFW, and which is based on glue as well. Okay, so to save time, let's skip this one, first one, and try this one, the glue init here. So there is a linking issue, right? So this always happens. So this guy uses GLFW and asked the same question we have. So the answer is that we need to include the Visual Studio need to know these files, glfw.library, glfw.lib, OpenGL32.lib. So it seems like we can find this file in this directory because we have everything here. So let's search inside this directory, glfw library. Okay, so we have this file, right? We have this file. So where is it? Let's see. Okay, go back. So let's look inside this file. Okay, so the directory name starts with lib, right? It looks very promising for us. So hopefully we can find them inside these directories. There are 4 directories: Ming W64 and VC 2012, 13, 15. It seemed like the version of Visual Studio we are using. So let's try this one. Okay, so we have them. So glfw3 okay, this one. We need to see the extension file. Extension. Something's wrong. So let's press Alt key and view. Click view. To folder options and view. And let's uncheck hide extensions for known file types. Uncheck this one. Apply, and you will see that this one is the file we were looking for, right? .lib file, the library file, library for the linker. Okay, so right click again, properties, and I told you that this is a linking problem, LNK something. So linker, click linker, and we want to give additional library file to Visual Studio as an input, right? As an input, and there is an additional dependencies here. So let's add this file glfw3.lib and we found there are more library files here. Kernel 3D 32.lib, user 32.lib, and much more. So it seems a good place for adding this library file. And don't forget typing semicolon. You got it? Semicolon. Don't forget typing semicolon here. So let's click OK, and let's try building again. Okay, this time we have different error. Cannot open file GLFW3.lib. This means that the Visual Studio tried to open this library file, but it still doesn't know where it is. Okay, so let's do this one again. Right click, properties, and in this time go to linker general, and additional library directories. Click this one, edit, new directory here, and our library file was here, right? This one, the select folder. Okay, and press OK, and try building. Okay, so it seems like most of the errors are gone, right? Most of them are gone. But we still have this one. And let's try Googling again, GLFW. So we found similar question here. And we found this one, OpenGL 32.lib. So we need this one as well. So right click, properties, input, this one, and let's try this one. Okay, so problems are gone. We are ready to execute this one, right? But you should have a question about this new file, OpenGL 32.lib. Well, actually it's in somewhere around the Windows default library. I think Microsoft prepared this file for us, so that's why we don't need to set the additional input directory for this library file. Okay. So you will find this file, well, in some Windows directory or somewhere else. So okay, so let's execute this one. Control okay, debug, start without debugging. Okay, so we have a window and black screen here, and actually, well, this one is the exact result what this example wanted to show you.